Hey guys, so in this video we will take some more examples on macros. First we will develop a error logging macro. So let's dive into the code. Many times while writing code, there is a chance that the code may fail. In such cases we want to print some errors. Like here we have malloc, which can fail in some cases. Let's see its man page. So here you see if there is an error, they return null. So basically we are checking here if the allocation is not successful, then print an error. Let's try this out. It should fail because I'm allocating a very large memory. You will see just a second. So here we're getting a warning that this exceeds the maximum object size. It's a very large number. So if we try running it, it's an error. So it says failed to allocate memory. In such cases, we want to print some helpful messages. So here we are printing failed to allocate memory. This error message is okay in such a short program, but in bigger programs, like we want the line number, the file name, and some more information. So let's print all that. Now on running this, we will get more information about the error. Let's try it. So you see we get the error logger, the file name, the line number, and the message. Let's see these macros first. So you see file and line. These macros are defined by the compiler. So here we are on the GNU documentation for standard predefined macros. Standard here means that this is by the C standard. So all the compilers conforming to C standard have these macros. Like you see the file macro, line, file gets replaced by the file name, line gets replaced by the line number. There are some other macros too. I will add a link to this in the description. So getting back to the code, we see that we have written this fprintf line to print a fancy error message. But writing this line every time we want to print the error, it's a lot of work. So what we will do is we will make a separate macro for this so that it becomes easier for us. So basically here we have defined a variadic macro which takes variable number of arguments. Its name is p underscore err. It takes first argument fmt and then variable arguments. Basically what we are doing is like these printf or fprintf, they can take any number of arguments. Similar to that, we have made this macro which takes the format and the variable arguments. The variable arguments passed here can be replaced by this vargs. So basically it's just a wrapper around fprintf. We take the arguments in perr macro and then pass it to fprintf. And what this macro does is it prints the line, file, format, and the variable arguments to the standard error. Now let's try it out. So here I have written a line failed to allocate memory, and this is -1 ul. This ul is just for telling that this -1 is an unsigned long. So let's try this. We'll comment this first. And here it works. The next thing I want to tell you is that because of this vargs, we will always have to pass at least one argument after this format. But this is not a great thing. Like if we wanted to do something like %d here and one more argument, it will work. It's okay. Like you can try it. This works. But if we if we don't want to pass any argument, let's say no arguments, now it will fail, and it failed. So basically what happened is as we passed no variable arguments, This VA args is empty, it's nothing. So there's just a trailing comma. It's like this. It's like calling the function like this. Just a comma at the end. So this is an invalid syntax. So to solve this, we have to tell preprocessor that if there are no arguments passed in this variable arg section, then remove the trailing comma. Now coming back to GNU documentation, here they have explained how to deal with such a situation. Here you see, there are two methods for this and this. So first we will try this one. Here they are using token paste operator. We will learn about this later, but here it has a different meaning. It says that if it is placed between the comma and this VA args, if we don't pass any variable arguments, it will strip out the trailing comma. So let's try that. We have placed it here. Let's try printing two messages. This one and one with the argument. We will comment this out. So it's compiling now. Let's try running it. And it works. Let's try the other method now. So now let's try this. And it works. One thing to note here is that this VA opt method, it's relatively new. It's introduced in C++2a, so it might not be working on your system. I am using this GCC version 9, so it's working for me. You may require a newer version of GCC to get this working. Although this VA opt method, it's not in the standard C. It's defined by the standard C++20, but not by C standard. It's supported in GNU-C compilers, and same goes for this one. This is also a GCC extension. So in standard C there's no method for removing this trailing comma. So you have to stick with extensions if you want a reusable code. Otherwise you have to write some multiple macros, for one for variable arguments and one for no variable arguments. Let's make this printing macro a little more fancy. So what we will do is we will introduce some new macros for making the file name and the line number bold and red. So we will do this. So first let's see the output. So you see here this file name and the line number, they are red color and bold. Although what we did here is specific to the terminal. We use these strings to tell terminal to turn bold on or off. So this is specific to the terminal, and same goes for red color. This makes the terminal output red and this makes it normal reset color macro. And you can find about these by a simple Google search. Let's see this link. And here it says that all modern terminal emulators use these ANSI escape codes to show color and other things. So you can check these out and you can do this too. In the next video, we will make a macro to profile our code. So see you in the next video.